Got it, Marianne.
Okay, well, I guess we're ready to start now. I'll just wait till we start recording. Looks like we're good.
All right,
Yep.
we're good.
All right, thank you. It is Tuesday, April 18th, 2023, and it is 5:04 p.m., and you are at a Plan Commission of the City of Wausau meeting. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We do have one member of our Plan Commission absent, but we have everyone else here, and a quorum's ready. So first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes from our March 21st, 2023 meeting. I would entertain a motion. I have a motion by Commissioner Bulkin, a second by Commissioner Brueggemann. Any comments? Okay, all of those in favor of approving the minutes from March 21st, 2023 can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes. All right, next up, we have 3 public hearings for our tax increment finance districts, but maybe first I'm going to invite up our city finance director to give a quick spiel so that anyone here to testify has that information too.
Yeah, so the state of Wisconsin has rules that really dictate how we either create or amend districts. So we are following those. We have publications that we do in the newspaper, and we send copies of those publications to the school, the county, and the technical college. We have had the Finance Committee and the Economic Development Committee review the plans. The Joint Review Board had their initial meeting this morning to hear information on the plans, and the next step in the process is to conduct the public hearing and have the Plan Commission make a recommendation to council to actually make the changes that we are proposing. So we're proposing changes to TID 3, 8, and 12. 3 and 8, we're not making boundary changes. We're just adding projects and project costs. And then TID 12 is considered a territory subtraction by the state of Wisconsin because we're removing properties with a value more than the parcels that we're adding. Our goal with tax increment district number 12 is to incorporate the parcels that used to be the mall into the district so that we can make improvements on those parcels and redevelop the mall. So the first district, TID 3, which is in the downtown area and along the riverfront, we are proposing some additional projects. So the state of Wisconsin laws allow us to make project improvements in the district and within a half-mile radius of the district, as long as we disclose that and it's part of our project plan. So in TID 3, the main projects that we are looking to do involve continued redevelopment in the area. That includes purchasing sites. The ones that we have listed in the plan are MBX and Wausau County Materials, which is north of Great Lakes Cheese. That parcel is up for sale. The parcel north of Great Lakes Cheese is up for sale right now, and the buyer of that parcel was interested in splitting the parcel and having us buy the waterfront, and they are going to buy the parcel that's outside of the waterfront. And this will further our ability to extend the River Edge Trail all the way up to Gilbert Park and to combine that parcel with the Great Lakes Cheese parcel and do further redevelopment. We also are interested in carrying River Drive north so that we can redevelop the Great Lakes Cheese parcel, so that is included in the plan. The map that's included highlights the River Edge Trail that is currently developed and those missing sections that are highlighted in sort of a orange. And this plan really will help us fill in some of the major gaps in the River Edge Trail. And we see that the River Edge Trail is very important. It is great for the community as a whole and the residents that live here. It is great as a tourism attraction. We found an article of the 25 fastest growing communities in the area of tourism in the United States. The city of Eau Claire was on that list. And one of the themes, because they had a bio on each one of those cities, one of the themes, underlying themes in each one of those communities was their trail system and the extensive trail system that they have, because, you know, people like to be outdoors when they are vacationing or visiting the area. And when people move here, they want those types of amenities. So from an employment standpoint and attracting good employment base, this will be good for that too. So we think it is a top priority for the city to get those trails developed. We have tried to develop trails on the MBX parcels for many years, and we're struggling finding agreeable solution with the existing owners. So this plan also would allow us to buy that property, and they are interested in selling it today. It also will further some redevelopment of existing parcels that have been on the list. Obviously, we secured the Wausau chemical parcel a number of years ago. That parcel has been, I guess, sitting, waiting for redevelopment. This plan allows us to do some remediation work there, as well as on the water plant, which is right next door. It also highlights the need to demolish the dive point site. So it really is giving us some financial resources to take that next step with parcels that we have secured and have been basically waiting for redevelopment. TID 3 is nearing its retirement date. Its retirement is in 2031. It has been in kind of a constant state of deficits because we've been doing a lot of projects. We recently stopped doing projects in the district. It is now in the black, and when you look at the financial cash flow, you can see that it will remain in the black with these projects and will close with a profit. And, you know, we see this as being able to use this district for our next redevelopment efforts on the riverfront. So it's, you know, we see this as a very important and strategic work to do to get us ready to redevelop and put to work some of those parcels that we have accumulated over time. So that basically is TID 3. TID 8 is on the west side of the river, and it was designed to try to redevelop some of the west side near the downtown, as well as it stretches up to 17th Avenue. And we have done some redevelopment projects up on 17th Avenue with this TID district. There is still property available for redevelopment on 17th Avenue. And if you've driven down 17th Avenue recently, you would, I think, have to agree that that needs to be reconstructed. So this development change in this development plan will allow us to allocate our costs to this TID for 17th Avenue reconstruction, 8th Avenue reconstruction, Washington Street siphon project, and the retaining wall. So those are 4 public infrastructure projects that we'd like to get done within the TID. And again, we've outlined that some of them are in the half-mile boundary. And the final district is TID 12. TID 12, we're removing 29 parcels. Those are in the red, mostly to the north and very south of the district's boundaries. And then we are adding 7 parcels for the mall. The projects, so in addition to changing the territory boundaries for TID 12, we also are adding projects all pertaining to the mall. So it's adding the street grid and related infrastructure for the mall redevelopment, as well as including the 2 developer incentives, T-Wall That developer agreement already has council approval. The agreement is contingent on successful amendment of the district. So if the district fails to be amended, that developer's agreement would become null. And then the SC Swiderski, that agreement was recently passed by our Finance and ED Committee, and so its next stop would be council the same night, April 25th, that this plan amendment is going. So this is our biggest, I guess, project list with $20 million for developer incentives, and then the balance of it is street and utility improvements. This district, when you look at the cash flows compared to the cash flows of TID 8 and TID 3, TID 8 and TID 3 are both older districts that have developed some increment already. This is a relatively new district. We created it, I believe, in 2017, so it has not had a lot of time to see growth or new construction. So we do show some ongoing deficits in the cash flow. From my perspective, I don't have a lot of concern on those for a number of reasons. One, when we borrow money at a fixed rate. So in the projections, I'm using a 5% interest rate, and so those rates will not go up. But if we do see a decrease in rates, the city would have the opportunity to refinance, which would change and improve our financial projection. We also have not done any inflation to the growth in the increment or in the values of the property. So, typically we see a 2 to 5% growth in equalized each year. So we have not included that in our calculations. So I see those calculations as conservative, and we have not anticipated any additional growth in the area. There's absolutely no other new construction but for the Swiderski and the T-Wall project. So, we expect that there'll be growth that will help with those. And I think finally, the city has been managing TID deficits for many years, and we have seen, deficits higher than these in this projection. But I think the fact that we will be closing TID 6 and TID 7 soon really will help us manage our deficits, because those districts will no longer be in operation. We expect those to close within 2 to 3 years. So, I have no concern about these projected deficits, and it does show that we would have all of our expenses paid for by the end of the district's life.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we will go ahead and start our first public hearing. This is item 2, public hearing regarding tax incremental district number 3 project plan amendment in order to add projects and project costs. If you are here and you'd like to make a comment, you are welcome to approach the podium. All right, second time. If anybody is here to discuss the TID number 3 project plan amendments, you are welcome to approach the podium. All right, last opportunity to sound off on the tax incremental district number 3 project plan amendment in order to add projects and project costs. Okay, I'm going to close that public hearing, but we've got 2 more public hearings to discuss if you're here for these. So item number 3, I will open up the public hearing regarding tax incremental district number 8 project plan amendment in order to add projects and costs. If you are here, we would welcome you. All right, second time, anyone is welcome to approach the podium and sound off on TID number 8 project plan amendment. Welcome you. All right, last call for any public folks who would like to sound off on TID number 8 project plan amendment. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing for tax incremental district number 8 project plan amendment in order to add projects and project costs. All right, next up, public hearing regarding tax incremental district number 12 project plan boundary amendment in order to subtract territory and add projects and project costs. Public hearing is open. All right, second time. Anyone who's here and like to discuss TID 12 project plan boundary amendments or projects? All right, last time, if there's anyone here who would like to sound off regarding tax incremental district number 12 project plan boundary amendment in order to subtract territory and add projects and project costs? All right, I'm going to consider this one closed as well. Now it is this body's turn to discuss. So we are now on to item number 5, consideration of resolution approving the project plan amendment number 5 for tax increment district number 3, City of Wausau, Wisconsin. Are there any questions, comments, motions from this body?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Bolkin to approve the project plan amendment number 5 for tax increment district number 3. And I have a second by Alder Herbst. Yes, Mr. Borneman, do you have a comment?
I just have a question on, basically a process question. Is it the role of the Plan Commission to basically review the entire plan, or are there specific items that the Plan Commission is supposed to look at this under?
I might welcome either, maybe any staff here. Brad?
Sure. Well, I guess one of the roles is to hold the public hearing.
Okay.
If you look on page 4 of the memo, we're sort of in the middle of the process. Joint Review Board is really the body that has the final say over the plan. That's after, the council has final approval. So I guess our role is to hold the public hearing and send a recommendation to council for them to approve or, modify as needed. But, specifics that we're looking at, I think, are just that, it jibes with what we've been doing, talking about strategically, redevelopment, if there's future projects that we've, looked at, and does it, I guess, overall fit with the plans that we've adopted in our comprehensive plan and how it fits with those things.
Okay. Anything? Nope. Any other questions or comments, clarification needed? All right, I guess we'll vote. All of those in favor of approving the resolution for the project plan amendment number 5 in tax increment district number 3 in the city of Wausau, Wisconsin, can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes. Next up, we have item number 6, and that is consideration of the resolution approving the project plan amendment number 3 for tax increment district number 8 in the city of Wausau, Wisconsin. I have a motion by Commissioner Borneman to approve. Do I have a second? I have a second by Alder Herbst. Any discussion or questions? All right, I guess none there. So all those in favor of approving the resolution for the project plan amendment number 3 for tax increment district number 8 in the city of Wausau, Wisconsin, can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Thank you. We are now on to item number 7. That is consideration of the resolution approving the project plan amendment number 2 for tax increment district number 12 in the city of Wausau, Wisconsin. All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Borneman and a second by Commissioner Bolkin. Any questions, comments? Alrighty, all of those in favor of approving the resolution for the project plan amendment number 2 for the tax increment district number 12 in the city of Wausau, Wisconsin, can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you. The 3 of those will be going to the Wausau City Council next week. So thank you. All right, we are moving on. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on approving a dual post sign at 360 Grand Avenue, our community partners campus. Would you like to give us
Sure.
a brief?
Yes, thank you. So there was a handout that was passed around. It's a rendering of the sign. This is for, as was stated, the community partners campus, and it is a dual pulse sign, meaning there's 2 pylons essentially coming out of the ground. It's different than a monument sign, which would be permitted by right, wouldn't need to come to this commission, but this type of sign would need the Plan Commission's approval. And I guess, we had talked with the sign company and the petitioners about this. They feel like this is their best option for a sign there due to some constraints of the site. And there's a memo from them, an email that highlights some of their concerns, why they feel this is the needed, the sign that's needed for this site. So that's why we're here, is to review the sign and give our approval or denial of it.
All right.
Entertain any questions if you have any.
Any questions, comments, possibly a motion?
Motion to approve the sign.
All right, I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Brueggemann.
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Bulkin. Any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor of approving a dual post sign at 360 Grand Avenue can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you very much. All right, next up, item number 9. Discussion and possible action on extending the expiration date of conditional use at 110 South First Avenue and 110 Alexander Street to allow for offices, chapel, community center with a kitchen and separate living accommodations for up to 36 men and women and up to 6 families in an urban mixed-use zoning district. Whew. I read the memo, but if there's anything more?
Sure, I guess just to summarize, we're looking to clarify the action that was taken on the Salvation Army conditional use from last year. It was last April. This commission did approve it, and the intention by the petitioner was to actually ask for an extension for up to 4 years. That was in their application, but it wasn't specifically made as part of the motion that was approved. So we just wanted to, I guess, first of all, clarify that extension would be okay with this commission. I guess since we talked to them too, they wanted to ask for another year onto that initial 4 years. So they're asking for 4 years from today's date that this conditional use would be allowed, for them to gain occupancy of that use. So I guess we just wanted to clarify that is okay. The zoning code does allow any amount of time that a conditional use can be extended. There isn't a limit on it necessarily, but again, the 4 years was at their request to see how we would feel about that. They did run into some delays. I believe there's some correspondence in there. Maybe I just put it in the memo. I guess it's just in the memo. They had some difficulties with some turnover and staffing issues that sort of caused some delays. So they are a little behind schedule, which is why they're asking for that extra year. So I guess if you're so inclined, if the motion could include a timeline on that extension of the conditional use.
Thank you.
And I guess just lastly, if nothing's done today, then technically, the typical expiration would be 1 year for them to start construction and another year for them to gain occupancy. So it would theoretically expire if nothing's done here today.
Okay. Questions, comments, maybe a motion?
Motion to extend it 4 years.
All right.
from today.
I have a motion to approve the extension by Commissioner Brueggemann. I have a second by Alder Herbst. Any questions? Okay. All of those in favor of extending the expiration date of the conditional use at 110 South First Avenue and 110 Alexander Street to allow for offices, chapel, community center with a kitchen and separate living accommodations for up to 36 men and women and up to 6 families in an urban mixed-use zoning district can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you very much. We are now on to item number 10. Discussion and possible action on authorizing the sale of 1515 Curling Way.
I can take that one.
Thank you.
So 1515 Curling Way is a remnant parcel. It's a relatively small parcel, less than 10,000 square feet. It's really not buildable for much at all, especially with the zoning district. There really can't be anything placed there. The railroad who owns the building to the south and the property has approached the city and wanted to purchase this remnant. They've actually, the new railroad ownership took it over from the previous owners. They didn't really even know that they didn't own the property. They assumed that they did, and they had been parking there. Not a big deal necessarily, but they wanted to improve this lot for a parking lot, which would be allowable potentially, but again, they don't own it. The city owns it. It is a remnant. We haven't been doing anything with it. We, shopped it around our internal departments. No one really sees a use for it from the city's perspective. We put it out to bid, a public bid. Board of Public Works opened a bid, and there was only one bidder, which was the railroad. They bid $5,000 for it. So I guess the process would be for us to send a recommendation to council to sell this property to the railroad. So we recommend that that happens.
All right, questions, comments, a motion? Looks like I have a motion by Commissioner Brueggemann to approve pushing forward with the sale of 1515 Curling Way. Second by Commissioner Borneman. Any questions or comments? Alrighty, all of those in favor of authorizing the sale of 1515 Curling Way can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. Item number 11, discussion and possible action on vacating and discontinuing the right-of-way located east of 1610 Meadowview Road, 1615 Meadowview Road, and 1612 Evergreen Road, which abuts the boundary of parcels 080-2908-074-0992 and 156001 Forest Valley Road in the town of Wausau. So,
Yeah, I can take this, yeah, thanks, Mayor. Yeah, this is a petition from the abutting owners to have this alley vacated, and that property would go back to the abutting owners. Staff has no issues with this. It abuts the town of Wausau, as you can see as well.
Okay, questions or comments or?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve discontinuing the right-of-way by Commissioner Brueggemann.
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Bolkin. Any questions or comments? Okay, all of those in favor of vacating and discontinuing the right-of-way located east of 1610 Meadowview Road, 1615 Meadowview Road, and 1612 Evergreen Road, which abuts the boundary of parcels 080-2908-074-0992 and 156001 Forest Valley Road in the town of Wausau can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
One breath.
Getting okay at that. Alrighty, next up is item number 12, discussion and possible action on vacating and discontinuing the portion of an alley that abuts 300 West Knox Street, 1110 North 3rd Avenue, and 1114 North 3rd Avenue, and 1111 North 4th Avenue. Anyone want to take?
Yes,
Motion to approve.
got it.
Don't even want to listen. We got the memo, so we
Okay.
have a motion to approve by Commissioner Brueggemann and a second by Alder Herbst. Any questions or comments? Or nope. Okay. All of those in favor of approving, vacating, and discontinuing the portion of an alley that abuts 300 West Knox Street, 1110 North 3rd Avenue, 1114 North 3rd Avenue, and 1111 North 4th Avenue can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes. Item number 13, our next meeting date is scheduled for May 16th. And I guess with that, I would entertain our last motion to adjourn. I have a motion by Commissioner Bolkin, a second by Commissioner Brueggemann. All in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you, everyone.